Salute to the Santa Monica Fire Department. Quick response time. I went down hard over there due to the potholes you can't smoke in Santa Monica, and you jackasses didn't fill in all that fucking water. But these guys got here in record time and just checked me out. They make sure this fucking hurts. Last week somebody took the brakes off my bike. Listen to all the fucking things, so I crashed hard and flipped last weekend, now followed up by just a coincidence of fate coming around the Corn Fest. I was gonna whip around and go over to the farmer's market and went down like hard. Yeah, but these guys, I do also try to acknowledge when people do stuff very correctly. Also then came here, I've had more than my share of problems with Santa Monica PD, but these guys for the most part have always been spot on in being on time and polite. There's been a few jackasses that I've had to encounter, but none of these guys I remember as being a problem. I have, I think, dealt with some of these guys before, and they were highly professional, so hats off to the fire team and the dispatch emergency first responders who got here quickly, assured me that even though it's in the street foul shit, and I slid through that water puddle when hitting that bad fracture in the road, which you guys should fix, because somebody could sue you over this stuff. That's not a safe area for anybody riding on a bike and cutting around and hitting that water puddle as I was coming across south to come in and go around. And the bike just, even though it's a great bike, and I'm an excellent rider, when it hit that slick section and the whole combined with the speed and the braking and leaning towards the turn, it took me down so hard that, and also the two educators and sound designer and the buyer for DJ Max, where you get the max for minimum, who I hope to see this, who stopped and were real people, not people pretending to be human. They were human beings being human, and had compassion. They listened to my stories and my rants about some of the things going on in the world today, and were very gracious, polite, kind people. Some of the nicest people I've met in Santa Monica in years. Refreshing since the last 5 to 10 years, my visits here, even though I've lived in Santa Monica and have had properties here under my different entities or names legally, because I like to have anonymity. And so when the jackass Humpty Dumpty Police Patrol here, which are some of the worst in the nation, in my professional opinion, you jackasses can even make NYPD look like, good Cub Scouts. Between you and Culver City and some of the bullshit going on with LAPD, the West Coast is, by hands down, in the last 6 decades of me professionally covering hard news, and I do mean harder news than that, have surpassed Boston, NYPD, Miami, and so many others that the Department of Justice or FBI or other government agencies have encouraged me at their whim to observe and put my ass on the line, and even end up in institutions on the inside, thanks to the Department of Justice, because they wanted me to go and identify people. I didn't know that until I was there and getting phone calls and notes, through the Department of Justice direct to me, and institutions that they helped arrange for me to get tricked into, and then sending me to places under different pretenses, and then I find out that I'm to identify Forns or other people I've known around the world, which was never my intent of taking any of those trips, and the pretenses I was sent under were quite mysteriously different, right? Had much more of my special bullshit handler at the FBI who's now a special consultant for the Department of Justice after getting shit canned for some of the bullshit you pulled with me. Thank you. Be blessed. And I hope you find that dog you were looking for. Man walked in. He was the only jackass, and he was drunk off his ass and said something as he was walking in and talking to the doorman drunk. He looked down at me and said something about doing it, bitch. And everybody from the fire department was looking at it, and him and what was, none of us could clearly understand what he slurred. Anywho, I could pontificate on many issues, but this is not necessarily the best place. And thank you to the Shangrila Hotel door person or manager who came and assured me that they were on the way. And the gracious people that I've encountered here in Santa Monica thus far today as I was taking a head-clearing trip up to the boo after having someone who's told me how much they have my back missed a pier with a bunch of my stuff down in another part of town to the point could strike a party out, if you know what I mean. Burn. So you might want to return Kurt's stuff that you've had for about 10 or 12 hours. And you know who you are. So if I got to call you out publicly, dude, it will be strike 5 for you. So wake the up, Chuck. Because I'm not in the mood to be played with by anybody right now. And if you don't believe me, I can introduce you to some federal officials who know how clear I've been about shit going down and what's going to happen if some people don't circle some wagons and settle it down for Uncle Kurt. Because with statuses I hold around the world, I could rock some people into kingdom come. And that ain't no joke. Maybe you people should do deeper research next time you try to send somebody like me out in the field. That when you send me out, you're not going to like the results, even if you think it was in the best interest of your anus. So, Department of Justice and Attorney General, your head is so far up Donald Trump's ass, in my professional opinion, you cannot be objective, and you should be brought up on war crimes for being a Humpty Dumpty fiddle player for the jackass in control at the moment. But his fingers are so nervous, he's even taking plans and provisions that he can either stop the election, or if he loses the election, he can somehow defy having military take him out of the White House if necessary. I applaud DOD for standing up to this piece of dog shit. And for those who really bleed red, white, and blue and not running for the end of time for the Doomsday Monument Plan to eradicate to 500 million. And then they kill 300 million more of you jackasses who implemented it for them, because they really only want about 200 million people on the planet. And if you haven't figured that out yet, if you're that close to the inner circle, you got shit stains on your face. Wake up. They don't want you. The 0.5% is going to trim this planet down to 200 million. Allegedly this year they may be running a little late, but they're pretty much on schedule with the not man-made virus released by CIA West here in Santa Monica to send over to Asia and make it look like it came from there as a natural virus and name it after Hispanics so we can piss off several cultures at the same time. Good going, Donnie. Did you not like the plan that was signed down in Tijuana by me and the French government and the Canadian government and the Mexican government and the U.S. government, aside from the fact of those other incidental paragraphs that I was made to sign in the NAFTA agreement in the hidden documents? The provision that it would be the state of Mexico, and that at some point in the NAFTA agreement the two countries would unite. Is that the part you didn't like, Donnie? Or is it the fact they clipped your wings down there when you jackassed a lot of people out of millions of dollars on the Baja job, not to mention several other Baja bullshit jobs you pulled on people? Dude, you were never worth $3 billion, you were worth 3 cents. You've stole every frickin' dime you've ever had. You know it and I know it. You've never given to many charities. You make it look like you're a big giver and you're a big taker. The lie you're told about draining the swamp is you forgot to mention, warning, I am the swamp monster. And you also think you're Satan, and you're trying to get your spawn to abort early and having religious people pray to Christ for it. Oh, that's so good that even Satan and Satan's son are pissed off and have been contacting me and asking, hey, can we get another 500-year deal and we'll get Trump in line and try and straighten this up, because even they're sick of this shit. Dude, when the other side's calling you and, making deals and even outing you, I didn't know you guys could get your noses so far up the wrong ass that you can even piss off the bad guys. Donnie, get smart. You and Tinker Toes, who's got his butt up your nose, your vice president, and everybody else. I'm sorry about the irreverence of truth, but it's about time somebody got beyond your jackass fake news, and nobody else has the balls to do it. I, on the other hand, have more than balls. I have experience, I have expertise, and I have a lot of skills. You want to jump some time with me, little boy? Seriously. You want to play Armageddon? It doesn't end the way you think this movie ends. And believe me, I wrote the book. Seeing the Akashic Records, and I know where you're going if you don't do what I've been asking real quick. Aside from the penitentiary that's melting in the Arctic, because temperatures are hitting over 100 degrees for multiple days in a row in the Arctic. That's no joke, kids. The planet is melting to core. You'll have hell on Earth soon.